Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming to you today with another Armada fleet build using Ryan Kingston's fleet builder, and I am hitting up a Rebel build, taking a look at the way Sato can interact with some of the new Wave 6 stuff. And I wanted to use the Corvette. So looking at the Corvette, I've always said that 2 red dice is kind of the key to make Sato worthwhile. So if you have one of these, I'm only going to use 2. You could go with more, depending on how many of this Corvette packs you bought, but I'm going to make this build just using 2 for right now. I don't think I'm going to give it any of those. I am going to give them gunnery teams. This actually is pretty nice for these guys. I love that they can take gunnery teams. It kind of gives them their own place, and with Sato, you're going to be able to roll 2 black dice at 2 different ships. Very cool, and be able to do that twice. We can also give them... We could potentially give them the task force titles. I don't think I'm going to do that right here. If I was going to roll with 4 of those, I would do that. So we can have 2 different versions. But like, yes, so a different version of this build would be to run 4 Hammerhead Corvettes with Scout Corvettes with gunnery teams and Task Force Organa for the rerolls. I think the rerolls would be great on those black dice. And also I would give them all... I mean, why not? Disposable capacitors, so they can roll their blue die as well, so now they can get an accuracy to go with the blacks. And that's always been one of the biggest problems that you have with a Sato list, is that you're running into like, oh, well, I rolled you have an evade, so you cancel out my black die. That's a hit and a crit, and that always stinks. So now you can get potential of just, it's nice. I really like it. All right, so but I'm only going to go with 2. I'm going to throw a MC30 Scout Frigate, and I don't fly these as much anymore, but the 2 dice at long range is really nice. We can put Assault Concussion on there. Let's do that. Usually I go with Assault Proton. They're a little cheaper, but I'll start off with Assault Concussion, and if I need the points, I can squeeze them out a little bit later. And we could even add Spinal Armament to this one. The reason being is that we want the extra red die in the front, so this way we can double arc, and we can, or we don't do that, and we just gunnery team. It's 2 points cheaper, but in the event we do get a side shot, that's our kind of our better arc, and we gunnery team. Maybe we even enhanced armament. Now we're getting really expensive, though. We're getting this as an expensive ship. So it's up to you. I don't know if we need gunnery team and enhanced armament when we can just do spinal armament and then try to have a front and side shot. So let's start off that way. If I've got like an extra 10 or 11 points to spare or something like that, maybe I'll come back and try to do that. All right, so boom, boom, boom. And let's add, this is a really good one for Sato, is the Pelta class assault ship, because it's got the 2 red dice in the front, and then we can add our assault concussion missiles. That way I'll probably go ahead and also make this our ship of choice here with Commander Sato. And now we got 1, 2, 3, 4 ships. Let's add some squadrons in. A-wings I think are going to work good here. I'm probably going to put Torin Far out to help. I'll throw a Tycho in there as well. So let's add a couple of A-wings. Boom, 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 boom. Let's do it like that. Let's toss in a YT-24, or I'm sorry, a YT-1300. Just let's maximize the counter and Torin Far. We can probably put one of these guys out here, GR-75. We'll put Torin Far on there, and there we go. Now the good thing about this is here's another ship that can shoot a blue die. Now it can turn into a black die, so this actually becomes a fairly nice little flotilla. Throw in a black die, or if you concentrate fire, throw in 2 black dice. That much is cool. You'll be able to figure out what you want to do based on a couple of things. We could add another YT-1300. If we wanted to do that, it would bring us to 399. That would give us 7 squadrons. That's a pretty good amount for Sato, and the 1300s are just nice because of their 7 hull, so they're harder to kill. You can have the A-wings kind of move in there early and give you your long-range shot while the YT-1300s catch up, and you can do that kind of to give you some staying power. So even if they are able to take out the A-wings, you still have Tycho. Hopefully he'll be able to survive just moving around as he sees fit. And then the 1300. This is 5 activations. It's not bad. We could scale back. We could maybe drop a single A-wing if we wanted to add some more stuff like, there's certain things I like to be able to add. Like, I like being able to put a title on one of these guys. Like, admonition would be nice here. It'd be nice to be able to put Lando on to kind of help in case he gets, you know, thwacked pretty good. You're probably going to be second player here, so let's roll it this way. I'll have this guy be. We don't need bomber command or anything like that, and he'll just be like an attack flotilla, and so we'll have Tycho, 3 A-wings and 2 YT-1300s. Now this is still 6, so we're still getting the same number of deployment advantage. And yeah, that's good. We'll want to make sure we put the 1300s the farthest forward we can to get them, you know, closest to engagement. And ideally, we would want the A-wings to kind of go in, take a few hits, and then the YT-1300s show up just in the nick of time to stop the A-wings from dying. And then Torin Far, we would kind of spearhead with this guy to kind of give them their rerolls. And it would also give the Hammerheads a reroll on their blue die when they pop disposable capacitors. And they're the only ones that are going to have the blue dice. Actually, Torin isn't the best for this build, to be honest, because of the fact that there's so few other ships have blue dice. But she's just really there to support the squadrons. So she's still good because it's going to be good counter squadron play, that's for sure. Alright, so let's look at objectives. So we are going to have a bunch of squadrons, and we could... One of the things we might want to think about is... precision strike isn't going to do that good because we don't have the squadrons with bomber. Opening salvos, we don't have a whole... I mean, it's good, but we don't have that many. Although we do... Our flotilla can shoot, so opening salvos is going to be nice. Advanced gunnery... I wouldn't... really, I mean, we got so much black dice, we don't really have that, like, these huge long-range shots, so that's going to benefit our opponent more than us. Now, I think targeting beacons is possible, because this can allow us, this can give us rerolls. So targeting beacons is a distinct possibility here, because this one is kind of seen as one of the least threatening that's out there, but it gives you rerolls. And that's nice, especially since you're rolling black dice. If you roll a black that's blank, you're definitely going to want those. So that's one to keep in mind. We don't want this, we don't want that. Station Assault is okay. I don't think we have anything that really benefits from it tremendously, so I'm not thrilled on that one. Most Wanted definitely could work here, but I'm thinking targeting beacons is probably going to give us the most. Because I'm pretty sure in this build, I'm going to go with targeting beacons. I'm pretty sure in this build this GR-75 is going to get killed, and so of course I would make that the objective ship, but since I don't have Bright Hope or anything like that on it, I don't feel too comfortable like giving them extra dice when attacking it to be able to get the accuracy to stop the flotilla from being able to scatter. Alright, so now let's look. Now capture the VIP could potentially work. We've got admonition out there. He can kind of fly around and just keep his inside pointed, or his side arcs pointed at the enemies. So capture the VIP could potentially work. And nobody's going to want to get close to him. So that's not a bad one. Kind of like that one. Contested outpost. Not a big fan of that one with this list. So we're going to sum up the command values. Yeah, and the command values for a lot of my ships are low, so that's, I don't know. No, that's good with like a whole bunch of Victory Star Destroyers or stuff like that. Or maybe a couple of Assault Frigates. This would be a nice one for that. Fleet Ambush, I don't think I really want to do that. Fighter Ambush is a definite possibility here, because I don't have a whole lot of squadron activations. So those chances are a lot of my squadrons are just going to be kind of put in place, especially with Speed 2 squadrons like those YT-1300s. Fighter Ambush is a definite possibility here, because they're going to put their ships out there and I'm going to know where they're going to go. It's a risky one, because if they have a really, really huge, TIE swarm, they can just drop, one tie to potentially tie up 2 of my A-wings or something like that, and leave it there and choose not to shoot with it. So really making it take longer for me to be able to break free, and it could really end up wasting a lot of my time. So I think I'm going to go with capture the VIP. This one is definitely, it's possible that the other player could end up getting it and you know, they could get 50 points out of it, but I don't think so. I mean, like the MC30s are hard to kill. I've got a good title on it also, and nobody's going to get in that close. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. The hammerheads are far easier to kill, and if I have you know, if I'm able to pick up the VIP with the MC30, and you know, you go after that instead of going after my hammerheads, I think that would be a win for me. Now let's talk about blue objectives here. In this build, let's see if there's any that I don't usually use. Like, I don't usually use navigational hazards. You know, and that's, I think, like some of these, like so many objectives really just scream to me that I want to use, you know, interdictors for. And so I need to probably start using interdictors more often, because they just factor so well into objective-based play. But so that one, it definitely seems like it would be better with interdictors. Minefields is all right. I like it best with Dodana, but it's still a good one. But then again, unless I'm not taking minefields anymore unless I have strategic, so I can, you know, so my opponent doesn't end up pushing them into my own face. Intel sweep is real command dial. You can choose an objective token and remove it and gain a victory point. So if you have more than, yeah, that one's all right, but that one's just kind of close. And again, this one I want a CR90 for. So many of these are kind of very, they make me not sure which way I want to go with them, and it's like, oh, if it goes up a certain way, it could totally benefit my opponent. And the last thing I want to do is have a blue objective that my opponent's like, oh, that gives me an advantage, I can get more points, you know. So kind of my go-to blue ones are these last two down here, Solar Corona and Superior Positions, because they can't really do anything to benefit from those. Every other blue objective my opponent can potentially trump me, especially if I go up against an interdictor fleet with a couple of lambdas, you know, that can push my mines back in my face, or you know, end up taking the victory points or something like that. So in this case, let me see, Superior Positions or Solar Corona. I'm thinking Solar Corona is going to be better, and the reason for that, oh wait, actually with the squadrons, squadrons might be able to get hits on the rear, and the big difference between these two is the hammerheads only have one of each of their tokens, so an accuracy is going to potentially hurt hammerheads quite a bit. The same thing with the Pelta. We've only got one brace, one in one. Same thing with the GR75. Now the MC30, it's not, you know, it's a little more defended against a single accuracy. So Solar Corona helps 4 of the 5 of my ships. But then if I look at Superior Positions, I need a ship or a squadron to perform an attack against the rear hull zone of another ship. If they suffer 1 damage, the attacker's owner gains a victory token. So out of all of these, Solar Corona is the only one that offers no benefit to my opponent. Well, potentially, unless they were able to outmaneuver me. And I don't think that's going to be the case, because I'll just set up, you know, pretty far on the one side. Yeah, I think that'll be the case. It's and I'm not, yeah. And if for some reason I do end up in the Solar Corona, well, I'm probably rolling black dice anyway, so I'm not going to have to spend an accuracy. So that's definitely the best one for me to choose. So that's 400 point build. Those are our objectives, and this is the build. So I will pull up our sheet there, and that's what we've got, guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I didn't give this build a name, but I'm accepting, you know, I'm accepting naming suggestions right now. So make sure you subscribe, hit the little bell for alerts so you can be notified when I put out new content. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear what you think or what I should name a build like this. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.